Hello friends, welcome to the lecture on database application using MS Access. Today I am covering chapter number 1 Advanced SQL Queries. I am Alok Gupta, mentor for these sessions. Query. What's a query? Query, extracting required data from one or more table, represent result in a datasheet or report form. Then is the advanced query. Advanced querying covering 4 topics. One is the subquery. Second is the CROSSTAB query. Third one is the duplicate query. Fourth one is the unmatched query. Subquery. Query inside another query, or we can say nested query is called the subquery. Subquery. Subquery is inside another query is called subquery. This we can done with the help of example given in a book on page number 3. The problem scenario: Rohit is an accountant in Apex Limited. At the closing of quarter, he has to check the invoice for which the payment are made in quarter 1 for the year 2008. This is a problem given in your book, page number 3. Now solution. First, select the payment table from a database and then come to the menu. It's a create menu. Then come to the option is known as the query design. Click on a query design option. There is a default dialog box is appear. Select the payment table, add on button, click on add on button, close. Select the field invoice number and date paid, and then checkbox off करेंगे for the date payment option, and then write the criteria. It's a between hash 1/1/2008 hash sign and 4/30/2008 hash sign. Then drag the screen, see the date we have written in a criteria section, and then execute the query run. The expression you enter has invalid date values. Format में hash sign मिस हो गया था, hash sign, and then run. This is the output. Now right click on the query option and then go to the SQL view and see the SQL view of this query. Now this is the SQL view, and select this SQL view and copy it. Control C. Next, select the invoice table. Then come to the create button. Click on a query design option and then select invoice table. Close it. Add the field invoice number, sales order number, types of invoice, invoice date, source of order, and then payment term. And then in a criteria section, type in bracket inquiry हम use करेंगे, bracket close, and inside the bracket what you have copied before from the table payment, paste it, Control V. All the text is here, all the query content is here, and then run the query. Now this result provide that's what's the data in a payment table between a date in a first quarter, and output is unmatched query is used to compare two tables and find the record that do not have matching value in a given columns. Easiest way to create unmatched query is by using the find unmatched query wizard. Case study 2 on unmatched query. Ankur Mathur, sales head of Apex Limited, wishes to reduce the production of few products. To analyze which product should not be produced further, we need to find out the product which have not been ordered so far. Now we will start unmatched query from query wizard. Click on a query wizard option. Dialog box appear. Then select the unmatched query wizard option. Click on OK button. Then find unmatched query wizard dialog box appear. Select the table. It's a inventory. Then click on a next button. Then select the next table is the sales item description. And again click on a next button. Then select the field name which is common in a both table. It's item number and click on the item number and click on the relationship button. Let's create a matching field. Then click on the next button. And finally, what field do you want to see in the query result? Select the field item number, class, category, description, manufacturer, model, and last inventory date and cost. Click on next button and click on the finished option. Yes. Now this is the result as shown in the unmatched records. Next option is the duplicate query. Duplicate query reports duplicate records. Create using the duplicate query wizard. Let us study a case study of a duplicate query. Varun Gupta, a chartered accountant in Apex Limited, is required to audit invoice and the payment. Which tracking the payment, he noticed that multiple invoices have been created for a single sales order. To sort out the things, he wished to check all the sales order having duplicate invoice. For this, we should select the query wizard option, then click on a duplicate query wizard, then click on the OK button. Select the invoice table, click on next button, and then select the sales order number on which you want a duplicate value. Select the field invoice number, types of invoice, invoice date, source order, payment item, and pay. Then click on a next button, and then finally duplicate invoice. Here, just click on OK. These are the duplicate invoices. Next two are the duplicate invoices. Next two are the duplicate invoices, etc. Now next is the grouping and summarizing. Group by query may be helpful in retrieving count of records, sum, average, and maximum or minimum of the value in a given column. This query is known as a group by or total query. The country head in Apex Limited wishes to compute sale the volume of its product. He also would like to see the number of order placed for each product so that they can focus on the product with the greater sales volume. For this group by query, first we go to the query design option. Select the table inventory, and second table is a sales item description. Select the field category and item number from inventory table and sales order number from the sales description. Here is the relationship maintained between an item number. Item number in inventory table is a primary key and sales item description is a foreign key. After selection all three fields, just run the query. As you click, the result is this. Again back to the design view and then select the option total button. Click on a total option. This is the group by option, category. First category field पे group by, select the group by option, then in item field we select the group by option, then we want a sales item description. This group by change to the option is a count. Run the command and the item category wise grouped and listed here, and last column show the count number of items in a group. Right click on this query, go to the design option, design, and put it the criteria you want to see the result whose item is greater than 3. And again run the query. There is no item is listed here, means there is no item is a greater than count more than 3. Again go to the design view and then again change the option, it's a greater than 2, then again run, and it's the item ATV, this is a more than 2 count of sales. Next query is CROSSTAB query. CROSSTAB query is an excellent analytical tool. It is a special type of query that can be created to describe one numeric quantity in a number of 2 or other fields. CROSSTAB query is useful for summarizing information. Now next, case study for the CROSSTAB query. The company Apex Limited wishes to receive the credit limit of its customer. For this purpose, Ashish, the PRO, need a summary report that indicate the count of order placed by each customer in every month of the last financial year. Now we can create a CROSSTAB query using a query wizard. Click on a query wizard option. Select a CROSSTAB query. Click on OK button. Select table source order. Click on next button. Select field sales date. Click on next button. Second select field sold to customer. Click on next button, and then click on again next button, and finally click on the finish option. Now this show the results date wise and then product name wise. Intersection of date and product name is an item number, that's a count option. Next is a pivot table and chart. Pivot table and pivot chart is the most powerful tool used to summarize the data. Pivot table and pivot chart are powerful tool available in Access 2010 to summarize data. A case study number 6 on a pivot table. The head of sales department in Apex Limited has demanded a sales summary report for review. The following are the desired requirements. The sales of the product can be viewed in terms of year, quarter, and month. The report should be enable the user to view the product filtered by the category. For this, we first go to the Create tab, then click on the Query Design option. So, Query Design option, select the table. First is the inventory table, second is the sales item description, third is the sales order. Close the table. Create a relationship between a sales order number and sales order number. Select the field category from the inventory table. Second, select the field item number from the inventory table, and then select the date, sales date from the sales order. Now add a calculated field. Right click on a blank column. There's an option, it's a build. Click on a build option. There's a dialog box here to select the database. It's an ICI training one. Then select the tables, and then select the field table. It's a sales item description. Here is the fields. It's a price and multiplied by the quantity. Click on OK button and then run the query. This is the output. Expression 1 is a calculated field. We can change the expression to as the total sales. Right click on a query option, design view, and expression 1 change to the total sales. Total sales. Then run the query. This is the output. Then go to the home tab. Now we'll create a pivot table from the given query. For this, we should come to the option is of view. Click on a pivot table view. Here is the pivot table. Click on a field list item. There's a field list. Then drop the fields. That's a sales item, sales date by month. First, select the category. Click on category and drop to the filter list view. Next, select the item number and drop to the drop row field here. Then select years, quarter, and month, and these drag to the drop column area and last total sales drop to the detail page. This is the report generated quarterless. Now I will create a pivot chart from a pivot table. Click on a view option. Here select a pivot chart view. Just click on a pivot chart view. This is the pivot chart. It's created. Next topic is a joining table in queries. A join is a temporary relationship that is created between two tables in a query or the relationship window using a command field in both the table having the same data type. There are different types of join query. First, there are three types of join available in Access 2010, inner join, left outer join, and right outer join. Now, understand a case study for a join operation. Case study 7. The operational regional head of Apex Limited is required to produce a report given the detail of the payment received. For this purpose, two reports are required to be prepared. First report including the invoice for which payment have been made, including the invoice and payment detail. Second report displaying a list of all the sales order, their invoice and detail of payment, including those invoices for which payment have been not received. Step to create first query. First come to the Create tab, click on a Create tab, then click on a Query Design option. Select Invoice table and Payment table. Close. Create a relationship. Drag invoice number to invoice number. Now this is the join between two tables. Right click on this particular line. There is a join property. There are three types of join. First one is it's a simple join. Second is the includes all the invoice and only those records from the payment where join are equal. This is the second join is known as the left outer join, and third option is known as the right outer join. By default, I am here on a join option. Select the field from the invoice table. It's an invoice number. Double click on invoice number. There is a sales order number, types of invoice, invoice date, source of order. Select field from the payment table. It's a date paid, how paid, and amount paid. And run the query. Just click on a run button. This is the data from both the table using the join operation. Step to create a second query. Come to the Create tab, click on a Query Design button, then select the table, sales order, invoice, and third is the payment. Close. Create a relationship between a invoice number and invoice number. From sales order table, select the field sales order number, sold to customer, sales date. From invoice table, select the field invoice number, types of invoice, invoice date, source of order. From payment table, select the field date paid, how paid, amount, and run the query. Click on a run button, and this is the output. It's come from these three tables using the join operations. Right click on a query number 8 and come to the design view, and between invoice and payment table, right click on this particular line and activate a join property and select the second option, which is known as the left outer join, and click on the OK button and again run the query and see the result. Joins are of three types. First is the inner join, return only those rows from both tables that match on the joining field. Left outer join, return all the rows from the left table and also those rows from the right table that shared a common value on both sides of join. Right outer join, it is just opposite of the left outer join, return all the rows from right table and also those rows from left table that share a common value on both sides of the join. Next option is the calculated field. In Access, we can add unbounded field that can display many other computed columns known as a calculated field. This we can understand with the help of a case study. Case study 8. Ramit, an executive in Apex Limited, is required to produce a report displaying all the sales orders which contain the field total amount paid as a sum of the tax rates and other charges. In Access, come to a Create tab. Click on a Query Design option. Select the table Sales Order. Double click on the sales order. Close. Select the field Sales Order Number, sold to customer, sales date, payment term, shipped via, tax, rates, and other charges. And then in a blank column, right click. There is a build option. Click on a build. Select the database. Then select the tables and select the table sales order. Here, double click on a text field plus rates plus other charges. And then at the beginning of the equation, type total sales colon and click on OK button and execute the query or run the query. Here is the column sales order number, sold to customer, sales date, payment, shipped via, tax, rates, and total sales target. It's a sum of the tax and rates charges.